Well, hi there, everybody, and welcome to the stream. I'm Robin at Andrew Jack without a C. We're playing the last, last episode of Silent Hill 2. We are working on the UFO ending, which is the final ending. I didn't think I was going to do all 7 endings, but we're frickin' doing it. So let's go ahead and get started. So, how's everybody doing? See AJ, Malik, and Judge, how are y'all? Hopefully you're doing well. So as I mentioned in our last stream, we have to pick up the Soul Blue Gem. And that is the beginning of our UFO run. Last time we played the Born from a Wish. Can't breathe, but you're here. Oh, I'm sorry. The illness or anxiety, well, you don't have to share if you don't want to. Whatever the case, I hope you end up feeling better. We start out by grabbing a map, which I'm going to try to use less of this playthrough. I'm going to fail immediately. Hi, Cat. But I'm hoping that I now have this game kind of firmly rooted in my brain. I'm allergic to fun, life, and photosynthesis. I need that sticker, unfortunately. Things aren't showing in the chat box. Oh my goodness. Chat box. Why? Why would you curse me so? Ah, dang. The things just kind of break today. Alright, I want to do some quick tech support. So, the way I usually do this is I go to Streamlabs since that's where I tend to have most of my widgets stored. Got the chat box. We can log in. I'm just going to do this real quick because screw it. Oh, hey, it's working now. Never mind. I don't have to do a damn thing. Hell yes. Have you ever considered an all roots 360 plus playthroughs of Shadow the Hedgehog since the game is 17 years old today? Yes. Yes, I have. I am trying to figure out what I would need from the chat and from society at large to necessitate this. But yes, I have not only considered it, I am still hoping I can figure out the logistics of it. You couldn't have picked a better time to start working. Honestly, like, so this isn't a joke. Shadow the Hedgehog is one of those games that, like, I have been wanting to do something ridiculous with because I unfortunately enjoy that game. Oh, shit. Thank you very much, Ayla, for the 5 subscription gifts. That is incredible. Yeah, I enjoy it as a bad thing. Like, it's not a fun game. It's deeply frustrating. I know that there are fans of it, but, like, there's something about it that just... It has a vibe that I find really appealing in the fact that it is this post-Heroes janky Sonic Team adventure with a lot of really interesting but ultimately very messy ideas. I love what they tried to do with it. I hate the execution, and I'm just going to reiterate, I am looking for an opportunity. And I hate that I'm looking for the opportunity. I guess I feel that way about Deus Ex 1 and Shining Force. I broke those games. Yeah, Deus Ex is very breakable. And I think if I end up playing Shadow the Hedgehog on stream, especially if I want to do a Sonic stream now that I'm done with Frontiers and feel like it would be a great cap to a Sonic series run through. I've been kind of like strongly considering the possibility of like, if I'm going to play a game that much, I'm going to try and get good at it. I'm going to try and get speedy at it. And after enough time, I'm going to try and break it. It's a fanfic continuation. Yeah. It's one of the weirdest games from a narrative perspective in the Sonic franchise. There was no other period of time in which it could have been released, save for maybe a little bit earlier. Like maybe if it came out at the same time as Sonic Heroes, it would have been more fitting. But it's still this just lovely, edgy, gritty butt rock game that, I don't know. I have a lot of ideas for why it came out the way it did. And I love it. I love how hard it tries, and it really does try hard. Okay, so we've made it into the city proper, and again, I'm going to try and stay off the map. We're going to take this right. Would you play a Shadow the Hedgehog 2 Reloaded? Huh. Yeah, probably. I think Shadow offers enough unique ideas just in the fact that he's willing to use improvised weapons, he's willing to use firearms, he's willing to use vehicles. He's willing to use a lot of things that Sonic isn't, and that inherently makes his gameplay a little bit more multifaceted. And I think Sonic Team of right now could make something. I don't know if it would be good, but they could make something. So with Ayla's contribution, we're up to 23 subscriber points. Now sub points kind of, or no, we're at 24 sub points. We're at 23 active subscribers, which I generally don't announce except in the case of like, I want to see if we can get Silent Hill 4 up. We're heading towards 40 points by the end of Silent Hill 3, which is probably going to be, I don't know, my guess is about 8 episodes is my bet. And if we can pull it off, hi Mom. If we can pull it off, we're going to go for all endings for Silent Hill, because one of my biggest regrets from Fatal Frame was not going after every ending. Which is, we mostly did because the effort to get those endings is way higher by comparison to a Silent Hill. Okay, I'm going to take one quick look at the map because I can't remember if I need to go left or right. I think it's right because we are on Lindsay Avenue. And yeah, we need to take this left, go down the first alleyway on Cat Street. That'll be Martin Street. And at the end, we'll pick up a key and run back and head into the Woodside Apartments. Hey, Clarita. We're working on the UFO ending today. Good to see ya. Tuned in just in time. Now, the constraints for the UFO ending are kind of like the Rebirth ending and like the old school UFO ending from Silent Hill 1, where if we pursue it, we can't be locked out of it. Hey, Rose. What we need to do is take this blue gem that we've gotten back in the bathroom at the very beginning of the game. We need to use it in 3 locations that I will be pointing out as we go. I'm purposefully skipping a lot of items because I'm seeing how much I can shave down of my time. We had a little moment where the chat box stopped working, which was a little weird. But it works now, so it's fine. Don't even worry about it. How have I been? I have been okay. I'm actually extra tired today because I didn't get enough sleep. But that's a good thing because I don't need sleep until tomorrow night. And Unfortunately, getting too little sleep means I would have been sleeping pretty well tonight. Outside of that, I've been great. I've been just playing stuff and getting some work done on a project that hopefully will be announced around Black Friday. Tiny thing, but I'm excited. Aleph, if that happens because of you, I think that would be a very good birthday gift. For me and you. My birthday was several months ago, so we're not going to worry about that. But, okay, I think we start with room 205, which I always forget exactly where it is. But I believe it's off to our right, a little further down, past here. That might be 203. This slabbed over wall should be 204, and this should be 205. And that should be our flashlight. We're going to give this guy a whack because screw him. And then we're going to go back the way we came. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Because, like, I've come to love this game more in these playthroughs. Like, I guess the more I play it, the more I kind of appreciate all of the little things that make it work. And I always appreciate a game that feels better and feels cozier on each playthrough. Like, that's what's been really nice. I've been worried that I would not have fun with playing Silent Hill 2 6 times plus a sub-scenario. Actually, 7 times. We played, oh, we need to go room 301. Yeah. We cannot go downstairs yet. That might be 308? I'm going to check the map. 301. It was the next door down. We should take faith in ourselves. And the sound design is hitting all the harder, pun intended. Hell yes. I appreciate that. I'm going to do a quick sweep just to make sure there's nothing worth picking up. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So we got the gun. And now we're going to go back downstairs and we're going to head to room 208. Today's wisdom words. Scully, you're not gonna believe this. So, I believe we go right and then left as soon as we hear the screams, which is always a great thing to just use as a goalpost. We'll see a guy. We're not going to worry about him. Just charge on in. Dead guy. Exquisite dead guy floating in display case. Exquisite dead guy. Where I saw his mount move. Okay, so now that we have that, we need to go to room 202. I think this might be either 3 or 2. It's 202. And we need to go into hole. Enter hole. Reach into hole. Embrace hole. Oh, damn. And Cat with yet still more 5 subscriptions. Thank you very much. What a splendid gift. And we are now up to 26 sub points. So what does that put us at? It's 14 more points. And like, I've stated this before. If we hit 40, if I see the sub points hit 40 on the dot, It does not matter if it goes down. It does not matter if people let their subscriptions lapse. We're doing it. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that that's going to be honored, because it is going to be a rough experience for me, and I cannot wait. Happy early belated birthday. So yeah, I'll reiterate again just to make everything absolutely clear. We are working towards 40 sub points, which is 40 current subscriptions. Um, it's a different thing than active subscriptions, um, because for whatever reason they are two different numbers. And if we hit 40 sub points overall, which means roughly about 40 subscribers, close to but not quite. Okay, I need to actually remember where we're going. Oh, we're going to the right. No, we're not. We're going over here. And if we can hit that number, then that's all I need. It means we have hit 40 and we're good. Okay, I actually am doing everything right. I got a little worried because I hadn't checked my map. We're actually doing great. And yeah, 4 is kind of a follow-up to 2 in some ways. It doesn't actually take place in Silent Hill proper for the most part. It wasn't technically supposed to be a Silent Hill game. It just became one. What we are doing when we get there. Let's see. I don't know exactly how you mean, so I'm going to try and shotgun approach this. When we hit that 40, it means that after Silent Hill 3's last ending, we're going to play Silent Hill 4 all the way through every ending. We're going to treat it the same way that we've treated Silent Hill 1 and 2, and we'll be treating Silent Hill 3. I don't know how nuts that is going to be. Silent Hill outfit time. Boop. Hell yes. Okay. Let's take a small breather. We've got the courtyard key. So now that we have the courtyard key, and right, we need to go pick up the key dropped by Laura after she kicked it out of our hand like a little jerk, which is down here. Hi, Nickabob. Good to see you. Hey, bud. I'm going to grab that and move on with our lives. And we're going all the way to the end to the stairwell. Like, we really are getting to the point where I can do at least a lot of this without even looking at a map, which is getting a little weird. There's not a lot of games I can do that with. I can do it with Metal Gear Solid and Chrono Trigger, but whew, it is rough. SH4 makes me think about how video games are like the one medium where creators are pretty much expected to just keep doing the same series forever. Yeah. I think... Like, you think they'd be able to put out a horror game slap from the devs of Silent Hill on a cover and call it a day. I mean, that's what we do with producer and director credits all the time with movies. Like, you can just say from the director of Get Out or from the producer, or like... And you would know, it's like, oh yeah, Jordan Peele. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be solid, and I'm going to enjoy myself. But with games, that's a little bit harder, especially when it comes to AAA, because everything needs to be a franchise. Everything needs to be at least a fairly guaranteed hit, which is kind of a bummer. Okay, we're gonna head over. can't remember where I read it, but video games are like if every time Tarantino made a new movie and did an interview, the first question from the press would be, so when are you doing Pulp Fiction 2? God. No, it's actually kind of funny because they did technically make a video game prequel to Reservoir Dogs. It was not great. So technically, that's already happened. They also tried to do the same with Heist, or no, it's either Heist or Heat. I think Heat was supposed to get a video game sequel, which again, weird. What else? Wanted got a video game sequel. Am I as anxious as my avatar would lead you to believe? Yes. I'm generally pretty good. Holy cow. And that is 5 more sub points. Scarface, The Godfather, The Warriors. So many games that got like sequels and prequels in video game form that, I mean, some of which are like not terrible. Like pretty fun games. So yeah, we are now at 35 sub points. So that's a hell of a drive happening right now. Thank you all very much. That is 15 subs so far. Just from the day. Just because people really want Silent Hill 4. Yeah, the Godfather game was pretty good actually. Like I got to make an old OC with it. I got to make my original character and got to have him be like an Italian crime lord in the city. The Labyrinth got a video game. I mean, I'm not as surprised about that. They put out a number of like oh, right, Eddie. So he's gonna be Barfy. 90% of Corleone's family jobs were down to one guy. SH4 was actually intended to be in the series from the start. They just really wanted to try out some new things with the design. Oh, interesting. Because I know by near the end, they weren't really interested in making it Silent Hill 4. It was going to be something of its own thing, but still, that's... Does an adventure game collaborated with Douglas Adams? Oh, even better. Hot damn. Oh, I need to go try that then. Okay, so we've done all of that, and I think we're going to the left now, all the way to the end, where we are going to swap over to the Blue Creek Apartments. And like Malik, if you're serious about that offer, that gator would look great in 3D. I think, yeah, Douglas, I haven't really like gotten into Douglas Adams' games. I just know that like I will play and read anything he's put his hands on. 18, 3, 4, 5. At least I hope that's what it was. Oh, wrong way. I'm gonna swap over to the... Let's see. So I believe 18, 3, 4, and... It's either 5 or 15. I accidentally skipped past it. Holy cow, we speed ran the frickin' notes. That's not... Don't ever do that. It's a bad move. It's your Silent Hill, but I'm on my 6th playthrough outfit. was more commercially successful than the film, which, okay, wow. I mean, okay, that, here's the thing. I understand that. Um, a lot of the stuff that we think was like bangers ended up being kind of, how to put it? They ended up not actually being all that commercially successful despite all of our belief of it. Um, which is kind of weird. I guess it was probably a lot cheaper to make. Yeah, less overhead. That makes sense. I would buy that. Even for its time, it was famously obtuse. Yeah, I mean, like, the design of that game was taking the piss out of people. It is very much the reason why humor is hard to convey in games, especially when you are also trying to make a functional game.
The film probably got way more views on TV than in theaters.
Very likely. My eye is twitching thinking about the puzzles. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, we got keys. Um, I think we now go a little over here. We go to the door across from, nope, that might be 106 or 104. We need 105. And because this is the easy mode puzzle, we're going to do old man on the left, snake in the middle, and prisoner on the right. God. I know that what's going to end up happening is, because of my schedule, I'm never going to play this game. Like, I'm not going to play this game again for, like, years. And I'm a little sad because I'm going to forget how to do this stuff. Pull. Oh. Oh, we got it backwards. Shoot. I read it wrong. Okay, so snake goes in the center. And prisoner goes on the right. Both? Both. Both is good. I mean, did y'all hear about the character mod that Terry Pratchett helped write for Elder Scrolls Oblivion? Or maybe it was Skyrim. It was one of the more recent Elder Scrolls games. And the story for that is genuinely one of the best things. It was about the point in which Pratchett's Alzheimer's was starting to get the best of him. Like, it was a little bit before that. And this person had made a mod for either Oblivion or Skyrim. I want to say Oblivion, who was a companion. It was just this woman's OC that she really liked. She just kept developing it and turning it into a more and more fleshed out um, character. Um, and she started getting emails from somebody who really liked her and offered some suggestions for how to develop her. And over time, she came to realize, and he came to admit, it was Terry Pratchett, who has always been like a pretty avid gamer in some respects. In fact, games have often like influenced his own works. I'm going to take a little safety save here because Pyramid Head gives me problems. And so over the years, Pratchett and this mod creator would work together. And like this woman like talks about the experience of like this wasn't famous author Terry Pratchett. This was a guy who saw the work I was doing and really wanted to help me bring it to a new level and kept finding ways of making something that felt more like what I wanted. Like it's this really great story. I think I can't remember where I read it, but if somebody has the article for that, I would strongly recommend linking it because it's not like this tearjerker or anything. It just kind of showcases how I mean, I don't even know why I brought it up. I just love the story. It kind of showcases how like authors who are into games are some of the strangest and most fascinating people. It's like Terry Pratchett, Douglas Adams, John Carpenter, who's a fan of Sonic Unleashed. Behind the Oblivion mod, Terry Pratchett worked on. And like, full disclosure, it was not developed by him, of course. He just largely used it because he was really happy with it, and a lot of the stuff that goes into it, like, I'll let y'all read the article for yourself at your leisure. But give it a read because it also has like some really great ideas for accessibility in games, for like really smart design. Like, I want to try the mod. It's such a cool idea. Yeah, I will now be referring to John Carpenter as famous fan of Sonic Unleashed, John Carpenter. Resident Sonic the Hedgehog modern fan. It's like there are two kinds of authors who are really into video games. There's Ernest Cline, and then there's everyone else. And everyone else is pretty great. I will never forgive Ready Player One for existing. Anyway. I should probably shut my mouth. Now, we still haven't hit our first point where we are going to be utilizing our blue gem. That doesn't happen until the hospital. But the second point will be really late in the game, and the third point literally right before the end. We actually did something similar with the dog key, where once we finished up in room 312 in the hotel, that is yet another point in which the game can end early. Okay. Now we've got a guy to our right who we're going to pop real quick because there's some items nearby that I want to get. Just a little healing item. Nice little on the way thing. We're going to grab the steel pipe at the Texaco. Or the Texon. Texaco is real. Texon is fake. There we go. Texon is a merger of Texaco and Exxon. Need to remember that. Get the engine, we grab the steel pipe, we run off. I don't, like, even though I've been going fast, I still pick up certain things just because Taxon are also Animorph villains. Fuck. There are certain things I do in each run that don't help me with time, but they do help me with, like, making fixed points that I can easily refer to.
Did you find the lady you're looking for? What's her name? Mary?
It's like there are a lot of games where there are a whole bunch of unnecessary rooms that happen to have, like, resources or something, and I just kind of go into, just like, no, yeah, I'm going to go do this, because if I don't do it, everything feels weird, and I'm not going to feel right until I do. And it's going to feel like an incomplete run if I don't. So even though I'm probably not going to use the steel pipe for literally the rest of the game. It was a slam poetry podcast I used to listen to religiously. Don't make fun of me. Don't worry about it. And one time something of Ernest Cline's ended up on there, and it was genuinely the worst poem I had ever heard. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. I've seen some of Cline's, like, blog posts and poetry and stuff, and... Whew, I don't know Ernest Cline personally, and I am very much of the opinion that, like, when delving into an author's work, as long as their personal life isn't so affecting and obvious, that you should consider death of the author. But some of his works really do make me believe that, like, he's got some stuff in his brain that just kind of tells me quietly that it's fine that I'm probably never going to finish any of his works. And it's kind of the extent of it. So this is where Maria was when she started out. We're going to, I think, grab nothing. We're going to grab nothing, because we don't need to grab anything. We could just leave. Then we head to the right to chase after Laura, who goes into the hospital. And we're making, like, solid time. Once heard the slam poetry as part of a long-form read-through podcast that only got finished on the YouTubes. Ah. That guy? Death of the author? Don't have to tell me twice. Don't kill people. I feel like I should state that real quick. It's like, I do not advocate murder. Or violence. Or anything. This is my proof. Like, I'm not saying anything that could implicate me. I'm just saying death to the author. Anyway, Jesus. Sometimes I have to realize when it's time to shut up about something. A skill I will never acquire. So we're going to look through all this. We're going to grab the purple bull key. Listen, I can't. Now we are going to head around here. We're going to head into, I think, the patient wing. No, we're not. We don't go into the patient wing on the first floor for a while. We go up to the second floor and then go into the women's locker room for the shotgun and the bent needle. And then we are going into the patient wing, into the examining room, and then into the second patient room. Me kidding. Of course. Big JK tone indicator. /S. Okay, we've got the shotgun. I'm sitting here just kind of like... It's not buck wild that I remember any of this. It's just, I'm kind of surprised that I do. So, into the examination room. I'm gonna grab this and this. Nope. This. Okay, and this is where our next little note is going to be. 5158. Cool. Excellent. And then we're going into M2, which is the second patient room. Again, trying my best to not constantly refer to the map. I'm going to be able to pull this off. And then we're going back up to the 3rd floor. Where we are then going to unlock the key code to the patient wing with code 7335? 7335. We're not going to worry about those slimy noises over there. That's not important. Don't even worry about it. And then we go to the 3rd patient room. 1, 2, 3. Maria's going to have a little lay down. And she's going to feel so great eventually. She'll be fine. She'll be good. And I can't remember if we go to... No, we don't go to the stairwell here. We go to it from the employee wing. So I have 2 Silent Hill outfits. We have the Heather outfit right now. And I have 2 different versions. I have the scared, and I have the aggressively normal. And I think at the moment we already had the Silent Hill outfit. I should go ahead and make another special for Silent Hill 4. I think that would be a good idea. So I think what you got is me going, I think I might have a new idea. Because now I'm starting to think about it. And I've been in need of some new outfits to change out. Oh god, cat girl made outfit. Okay, that was 3. There we go. Oh, right, we are hurting right now. Ooh, 1414. And then back to Silent Hill. Gosh, all those bits. So we're going to hold on to the outfit for just a minute, and then we're going to move back. At Cat's request. Okay, now that we've done that, where are we going? We are... Right. We're going to the end. We're going to the very end. Yeah, I kind of... Okay, so... I don't know if I'm ever going to do face cam, but I know that I am the kind of weirdo who would gladly pull a Finster and just keep a gag, an outfit gag going for as long as I can manage. It's like, if I can find a local costumer. You know what I mean? Like, could be fun. Okay, so we can get rid of 1 key. We can punch this in. And I believe this is actually set up so that, yeah, nice and quick. All ideas that may come down in the future. So we've also got the Nier Automata outfit, because we played a lot of Nier. Oh, so much Nier. I miss that game. I miss those games. I'm just thinking about Nier now. There's going to be Nier in frickin' Rainbow Six Siege, which weirds me out. They have done so many weird crossovers, like Goro Majima was a playable character in Rainbow Six Siege, complete with baseball bat, and now younger brother Nier is going to be playable as a costume, and it's like, it's like, yeah, sure, you know what, just fucking whatever, fine. I don't understand what's happening, but go for it. I guess that means the Yokotaro and the team got paid, so that's nice. Yeah, I mean, Ikumi Nakamura also did a lot of guest designs for it that look pretty dope and very Ikumi Nakamura. So I can't exactly complain. They're grabbing all the Fortnite properties that Fortnite couldn't get. Okay. And we are going into C2? Yes! And we're about to hit our first blue gem moment. Will that mean that the Rainbow Six folks are trying to talk about the futility of war all of a sudden? Oh, you know. They Tom Clancy. Anyway, yeah, there are some characters that if they showed up in Fortnite, I would play. So, here's the thing. Yokotaro did say that. As long as they keep paying him money, he'll do whatever anybody asks him to. He's kind of taken the John Carpenter approach, you know? Okay, here we go. This is our first use of the blue gem. Welp. Yeah, Siege is just like this thing. Like they're just small operations. Like no huge deal. Okay. Now we need to get up to the second floor. And we're going to go to the 6th room at the end. The M rooms are pretty wide. And then we have more Silent Hill outfits, because we are so close to all of the sub points we need. Also, as a reminder, we have a surprise game coming soon. It will be on Thursday, and only one person knows what I'm going to be playing. And I'm keeping as mum on it as possible, just because I think that would be fun. Okay, so where are we going? Right, we're going to. This is about the point where we pick up. The hint is, if you're a PT fan, you're either going to absolutely love it or you're going to absolutely hate it. That is all the hint I will give you. It'll be a good time. I can assure you of that. That is the one thing I will say. You're playing Death Stranding? If I could play that in one shot in 2 hours, I would. I would play that game every day if I could do that. But I can't. So it's not Death Stranding. I can assure you that it is going to be a one-shot game where we're going to play it beginning to end. And it's for PT fans. And also, very much not for PT fans. I don't really know how to put it. We're just gonna watch Eraserhead together. Listen, that Eraserhead baby needs more screen time. Okay, now I believe we can go back up to... What floor was it? Third floor, where we have to take the elevator. Is this the third floor? No, this is the second. God, if I could host movies, if there were a way to Twitch stream movie hosting, oh my God. I still have a lot of, like, early David Lynch to watch. Because I've been sitting on Eraserhead for years, ready to watch it, and I haven't actually sat down with it. Which is really frustrating, because I really want to see it. So we've now gone to the second floor, where we are going to run past all of these nurses and into the day room. There technically is, yeah, because, like, MST and Rift Tracks both have channels on here. And, like, it absolutely works. If you know what you're doing. And I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like... So, Clarissa, I feel like that's a really kind of general vibe of David Lynch, where when you watch anything he does the first time, it feels like bad filmmaking, and then you keep watching it, and then suddenly something clicks. He has a very kind of, like, I would say shifty approach. Oh no, it's the storeroom in the employee wing, where everything he does feels like weirdly janky. Like nothing is quite assembled the way you would expect. Sort of like David Lynch himself, really. And I don't say this as an insult. He is uniquely assembled from an internal perspective. And he's very much the kind of guy who makes movies the way he wants to make them. And a lot of times when you run into that, like, you'll get bad editing, or you'll get weird pacing or whatever. There is something about David Lynch, the way he does it, that the more I watch it and the more I get that vibe, like figure out that vibe, the more I understand his work to be an expression of himself. Like, his movies are so very much the way he talks and the way he emotes, and it's always a little bit weird. Mulholland Drive is a perfect movie. I also need to watch that. I've been kind of wanting to watch Cronenberg and Lynch movies back to back for a while now, and I'm getting closer to that point. Can you believe it? Mulholland Drive made me a lesbian. Right, like there was some interesting development on like that movie. Like it was actually very tastefully handled behind the scenes. So good news. David Lynch is actually a pretty good one. If I can make a recommendation, don't start with Mulholland Drive if you're getting into David Lynch movies. Yeah, exactly. Start with Eraserhead. No. If you want to get into David Lynch, watch season 1 of Twin Peaks. Just season 1. You can also watch Dune. You can watch Wild at Heart, or I mean, any of his Nick Cage movies. There aren't many. Might just be one. I forget because it's, again, been a minute. His horror movies and Mulholland Drive are like some of his least accessible. Blue Velvet is also way on the back end of like, if you like David Lynch and you've seen some shit, like I just always go like season 1 Twin Peaks. I okay, AJ, I will actually I will politely fight you on that. The new Monkey one is absolutely a first watch because it is a culmination of everything David Lynch is about if people got out of his way. It's great. It actually is like, watch Twin Peaks season 1, then watch that, and you'll know everything you need to know about David Lynch, because that short film that he put on Netflix where he's just talking to a monkey voiced by himself is him just describing his manifesto of filmmaking. That's all it is. It's just David Lynch going, here's what my movies are about. And that's it. Blue Velvet is subtle for a Lynch film. Eraserhead is not. Pretty much. But it's also one of those movies, like, the reason why I don't recommend Blue Velvet up front is because depending on how you view cinema, Blue Velvet can be really, really, really polarizing. I know some people who have incredibly harsh opinions about Blue Velvet specifically, not more so than Mulholland Drive, which is kind of funny when I think about it. But yeah, Lynch is weird. Yeah, no, AJ, I actually completely agree with that point. I just feel like that has to be one of the earlier ones, because Twin Peaks does a really good job of showcasing kind of the general ethos of David Lynch, how he always tries to write from his very bizarre yet lovable definition of love. Love in horrific times, which is kind of like a good description of most David Lynch movies. And then that little short is just like, this is Twin Peaks summarized to a filthy degree. And then you see how that little short shows up in everything he does afterwards. It's really great. And the quiet is why you should be worried. I love that description of Twin Peaks. And like, so I also have the recommendation for Twin Peaks of like, if you end up watching Twin Peaks, season 2, a lot of people don't like. Lynch and Frost, who co-created and co-wrote this or co-directed the series, weren't involved for like a majority of it because they were really frustrated by a lot of what they were asked to do, including revealing the murder mystery pretty early on in season 2. Like, they're like, this isn't what we want to do. This is not our show. And they come back on the very end of season 2. I think on the episode On the Wings of Love, which is not the first Return of Lynch episode, but it is the first one for me where Twin Peaks season 2 gets good again. So if you can hold out, through the worst that season 2 has to offer, which is most of the middle stuff, where it starts being very soap opera-ish in a very kind of rote sort of way. Twin Peaks is absolutely a soap opera, but a divine soap opera up until season 2. And then, when you're done with Twin Peaks season 2, don't watch Firewalk with Me yet. Watch it after you watch Mulholland Drive, Eraserhead, a bunch of other movies, and then come back to Firewalk with Me. And I usually recommend that because Firewalk with Me is not the same kind of thing that Twin Peaks the show is. It's a lot darker. It is a lot more of just saying what Twin Peaks tried to hint at. And it's a much harder experience to deal with. And also very good. It's kind of gone through this redemption arc in the past few years of people going, we were all wrong about Firewalk with Me, and we need to say so. Inland Empire. I don't know anything about that. Like, the things I know a lot about are pretty small, but I know a lot about them. And the things I don't know anything, and the things that aren't in my wheelhouse, I just go in blind. Like, I don't... Never forget talking about how Firewalk is good, actually, while shooting giant bugs in EDF. Yeah, that was when we last talked about it. Disco Elysium voice. Inland Empire, failure. My third favorite Disco Elysium stat. First, explain what it is, so I can kind of understand, like, where I'm at, because I can't search for Inland Empire while I'm doing this, because I'm good at streaming, not fantastic at streaming. Maybe I could do it. Maybe I know this game well enough. Type with one hand. Inland Empire film, 2006. Produced by Mary Sweeney and David Lynch, starring Laura Dern. Okay. That's all I need to know to be interested in it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually heard of Inland Empire. It's kind of weird. But good. I'm glad I now know it exists. I love learning new things. So I have the wiki article up, and I'm going to avoid the plot synopsis, but... Okay, so we gotta uncover this. And while we're doing that, I'm going to this out. For spoilers that aren't spoilers, I trust you enough to just go for it. Oh, yeah, I've seen... Okay, I... From the wiki, I have now seen enough that, like, I am really interested in this concept that I now have a new Laura Dern movie to obsess over. You know how Black Swan was Perfect Blue? Kind of like that. Yeah, that's actually pretty close to what I was picking up from the description. That's interesting. With Laura frickin' Dern. Oh my god. I am... I want to see her in that role. Oh my god. Yeah, Black Swan was great. I know it was basically Perfect Blue, or... But like... I mean, both of them are really good. Black Swan was David Fincher? Is that right, or am I mistaken? Because I don't think that's the first time or the only time he pulled from Satoshi Kon. Black Swan can surprise you if you don't know Perfect Blue. Yeah. Darren Aronofsky, that's the name. Yeah, and Immortality. I need to play Telling Lies first. I want to go through Sam Barlow's works, even though I know... Like, I've played Her Story way too long ago, and I need to go back through it. But Immortality seemed like absolutely my jam. I love horror based on film. Not horror films, though I also love those. I love horror based on the film industry. Oh yeah, Her Story is a problem. Like, I don't know how else to put it. It's the twist for her story, which I'm not going to get into, um, is just kind of lame. It's one of those things where if you don't know a lot about like the kinds of stuff that it's dealing with, you could probably enjoy it quite a bit. But the more you learn about certain things that are involved in the twist, the more you're like, no, this doesn't really do it for me. This doesn't land well. Um, and yeah, the mechanics for the first two games, Her Story and Telling Lies, are very similar. They use, much like Immortality, they all use like a search engine system that with each game get more and more detailed and involved. So like I think by Immortality you have more features than you ever would have in Her Story. Can I just say magic sperm derogatory and leave it there? Oh my god. Not the first time I've heard a phrase like that. What is my life? Do you like art paintings, by the way? Yeah. I was huge on Impressionism for a long time until I got sick of it. I love a lot of early century or early 1900s work. And I love a lot of modern works. Edward Hopper. He was. He did a lot of environmental stuff. He did Nighthawks. Did he do Nighthawks? Yeah, Nighthawks. Thank you. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff, and yeah, like I could absolutely tell. There's some really great like ad work and like propaganda style posters he's done. I say propaganda style. It's not. I don't know if it's propaganda. I just remember some of his works being really visually compelling in the same way that like communist propaganda or like pro-communist posters had. Like there's just a vibe there that's just like really cool. You know, I don't know too much about him or his career. It's something I never got into. But now that I have the wiki article up, I have something new to look up today. I got a new movie to watch. I've got an artist to research now. Ooh, yeah. This is gonna be good. Here we go. Easy difficulty when it comes to this room is a crapshoot. But thankfully, if we can mash the button, we can usually get back into this. Dang it. Okay, I'm not... Okay, there we go. I wasn't confident that I hit it right the last time. But now I'm confident. We have taken some damage. We're going to do that. We're going to use the spiral writing key. Yeah, I'm always up for, one of my... There are a lot of favorite things about this chat that I have. One of them is that I just keep getting more and more articles, more and more, things to look up after almost every stream. And like it's really cool. Like I keep finding new things to check out. And I'm really appreciative. I know I'm not just trying to butter y'all up. Like it's the genuine truth. Like I keep getting these links to try out, and like I find new and interesting stuff. I find new games to play. Like Malik has suggested some really cool stuff. I've gotten some stuff in the suggestion box down below that is like genuinely really neat. And I get a reason to like go into you're the hole in which we keep throwing our favorite cool stuff. And I love that. Genuinely and for real. I think that's like one, like, well, thank you very much, Clarissa. I mean, in fairness, a lot of what makes me neat in these streams is the fact that y'all are neat. I have my own qualities as well, certainly. But y'all provide a lot too. These streams would not be the same without y'all. Full stop. Okay, so we're going to go to the second open door. Welcome to the Neatness Singularity. I sometimes when I hear people talking about like, oh, I've got the best shatters in the world, I'm like, yeah, of course you believe that. I'm not in denial of that. It's just always kind of like this rote, like it always comes off as kind of rote when delivered a certain way, and I don't know, I never, when I started streaming, I was like, do I need, how saccharine should I get? How sappy should I get? And the reality is, if you aren't cringe, you aren't free. So, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, I have more fun doing these streams because of the people that show up than even the games themselves. Really nice. And I know there are people who also lurk and just hang out and just want to see cool stuff. And I'm not going to, like, call you out or anything because I'm genuinely appreciative that you feel like just chilling and listening and checking the chat and stuff. That's always really great. Get as cringe as a rock band frontman on tour visiting a city for the first time. Yeah, honestly, get worse. Get worse than that. Be peak cringe. Then again, I also hold the belief that, like, if you're not genuine about the things you love, and if you're just doing something to make money, if you're doing streaming just for, like, streaming or anything just to get them clicks, it tends to show. Like, if that's how you gotta do stuff to get paid, go for it. But people also sometimes don't really land for me when it feels very, like, I'm selling you something, or I'm selling myself, or something like that. I think I'm getting to the point where it's like, I don't want to sound like I'm particularly judgmental towards those people, because I don't really care to make people feel bad about doing what they gotta do. Ooh, sorry, this has nothing to do with the convo or stream, but would anyone like to hear some wild manga titles? Yes, AJ. You've posted a couple videos before of you reading new manga titles. Hunting in another world with my elf wife. That is just what I would like to be. Do not kill the part of you that is cringe. Kill the part that cringes. Exactly. I got fired as a court. One second. I got fired as a court wizard, so now I'm moving to the country to become a magic teacher. Hunting in another world with my elf wife. I'm kinda chubby, and I'm your hero. Actually, I want to read that. So, I kind of love this trend of titles that have been going down for a while. especially now that I kind of know why that exists. Like, it's something that is very specifically light novel focused, where they were just like, I'm just going to tell you what the book is about. Like, I'm just going to put the stuff that usually goes on the back of the book in the title. And that trend has gotten so over the top that there is now a book where the title is the entire book. And the title runs through the, I want to say, 168 pages of the book. Like, they just decided, you know what, I'm going to take this to its logical conclusion, and wrote a book that is just the title. It is something I really appreciate. Like, that person gets it. That person understands what it means to commit to the bit. Because it was done to, like, sell the book as quickly as possible to people passing by, because light novels, while lucrative, is a really competitive market in Japan. And so, if you read the title, and it tells you what the story is about, you don't need a blurb on the back. Like, that tracks, right? It's like, it's weird, but it tracks. So it's just like an easy way for people to like know immediately what they're getting into. But you will occasionally come across books that just have these absolutely absurdly long titles that just spell out the beginning, middle, and end, and it's ridiculous, and I love it. The read a book by its cover trend is also super old too, because it was popular in the early 1900s in Europe, but even then, it doesn't have a good ROI or sales figures. So we're going to turn this down so that yellow or green, you can do either one, is facing us. Upside down. Oh yeah, speaking of old-ass books, I started playing Pentiment. It's the new Obsidian title, written, or at least, like, directed both as a game and as a narrative by Josh Sawyer, who is a good dude. A good dude. And it's really good. Like, I've never played an Obsidian game that I unequivocally just went, yeah, this is great, actually, until Pentiment. Like, with most Obsidian games, I'm like, this is great. It's too bad that the game doesn't work very well. As in, it keeps crashing on me to the point where it's unplayable. Or is one of those, like, you really got to know what you're in for before you jump in. Like, I'm a fan of a lot of Obsidian's work. I don't always think their games are actually good? It's weird. And yeah, it's on Game Pass, and I've taken it for a spin, and yeah, it kind of slaps. It's got sort of the structure of your like standard modern BioWare Obsidian RPG. But it's just got all these amazing little visual quirks. It's got genuinely great writing and incredibly interesting, like, word choices and dialogue choices and stuff. It's like, I'm really interested in to dig into it further. One of my favorite little things that it does is that one of its visual gimmicks is its font. It changes font based on the kind of person that's talking. And their font will change when they change their tone. And because of the kind of game it is, you are playing as an artisan who is like making manuscripts at an abbey. And am I going the right way? Yes, I am actually going the right way. I just forget. First left, go to the ladder. Yes. There's one underground area. Oh, hey, we're here. And we got the abstract daddy. Oh, we've got more. Okay. My repair skill became a versatile cheat, so I think I'll open a weapon shop. Though I am an inept villainess, tale of the butterfly rat body swap in the maiden court. The solicit text is absolutely no help, although this text is for volume 2. Yeah, so you already know what's up from that end. Like, you're in for a penny. I need more. Unfortunately, anytime you have new titles for manga, I need to know them. It's just important. Okay, so now that we've done this, this is the innocent man puzzle where we are looking for the kidnapper. Come on. This is one of the more aggravating puzzles, not because it's bad, but because to position yourself where you can read what's on these face masks. Okay, very bottom. The actual window to examine the thing, the actual context-sensitive box. I have one titled The Bride Was a Boy, but it's really good and mostly transpositive. Mostly transpositive is like better than most things that deal in transmedia, so I'll take it. Just speaking of manga, my friend got me to read "'Tis Time for Torture, Princess." Gee, I wonder what kind of story that is. Okay, I think we can just... Wait, did I go through the wrong one? Yes and no? It's wholesome. Really? I wouldn't have expected that. Okay, just double checking. We did that. We did all that. Torture is usually just like eating udon. Oh my god. Okay, so I watched all of My Dress Up Darling, which is a difficult thing to recommend to people because it involves horny teenagers. But there is a fictional manga in it that I wish I could read because, like that, it is a story that sets itself up as if it were this really horny thing. And then you look at the art for it, and it's this chibi-styled manga about a succubus trying to get with this guy who has trouble falling asleep. And so most of it is just these cute little moments where she's like singing him lullabies or trying to help him stay on a regular sleeping schedule or stuff like that. And it's cute and adorable. And you don't know it until you actually see the content going in. And it's like there's other narrative context to it that also makes it really good. But it's like it's not horny at all. It's just adorable. And it's just this horny concept done in an absolutely adorable way. And I kinda... It's a bit that makes me want to go back and watch that whole series again because it's, again, not easy to recommend. But it's really good. I hate when I have things that, like, I can't necessarily recommend but they're still like, when they hit right, they hit so right. And My Dress Up Darling is one of those. So I'm just going to shoot him with the gun. Ow! I don't know anything about Dan Dan Dan. Dan Dan Dan. Dan 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 Dan. Dan 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 Dan. The things you gotta wreck with the 10-minute long series of caveats are frequently the most interesting, even if they're also very difficult to manage. Yeah, because like I'm in my 30s watching a series about pretty horny teenagers and like about trying to keep it in your pants, about trying to be responsible when a girl is all but like feeling you up. And it's weirdly one of the most feel-good shows that I've watched in a while. It is a supremely horny series that knows when to pull it back, and it's largely about the joy of creating and following your passions without actually being having it being about being horny. Like it's I never know how to describe it because it's just really freaking good, and every time I try to describe it, it doesn't work. It's like, ugh. Okay, so we are now on our second point where we use the blue gem. Oh god, those are close. That's a good way to put it, Judge. Because, God, the setup for My Dress Up Darling is that you have a Gyaru hanging out with a guy who is apprenticing to become a professional doll painter and clothier. Clothier. And this guy is so stuck in his hobby that he's just kind of isolated from the world. He doesn't have many friends. He keeps seeing himself as like this weirdo because he likes painting dolls like his grandfather. But he's extremely passionate about it, and he's like, you know what? It's fine. People are going to look at me weird, but this is what I love to do. And so this Gyaru, who's really into cosplay, finds out that he can sew. And she kind of drags him into the world of cosplay, and he starts learning to appreciate the craft of these fictional characters. He finds similarities in his passions combined with this other girl's passions. And throughout the series, he just starts developing more and more care and enjoyment for these sorts of things in this like completely unjudgmental way that feels, by the end, like one of the most heartwarming things I've seen in a while. The season finale for My Dress Up Darling is something that like broke my heart in a good way. Like it just landed a moment that it kind of had built up for a really long time. And I keep talking about this series, trying to beg people to try it out, knowing full well, hey, you're going to be ogling a 17-year-old girl throughout it because it's anime and it's about high school kids. And I'm just still sitting there like, it's still kind of worth it for when they actually start talking about feelings. It's still really worth it. It's like, ugh, why do they have to make stuff like that that is done so well, and I have to just sit there and go, it's not me being creepy. I hate most of this. This is just one of the good ones. And why do I have to keep adding these qualifiers? I think it's because I have internet anxiety. You know what I mean? It's that Twitter anxiety of like, I have to create caveats for everything I say so that nobody gets the wrong idea. So that, like, I'm kind of constantly factoring for bad faith interpretations. It's that weird anxiety that kind of makes me glad that Twitter is going away. Connections are important. I think the key in that anime is that those connections happen not because of love at first sight, but because of personal passions that intersect in them. Right, because the reason why he starts like following this girl around is A, she stands up for herself when somebody tries to dunk on her interests, and B, when she finds out what he's into and he's worried that she's going to like be a jerk about it and make fun of him, she's just like, that is so unbearably cool. I love that you're into this. Like, legitimately goes hard into, this is really cool and you're cool for liking it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the cool girl everybody knows and loves, plus the socially awkward guy who can barely look at a girl, and they somehow made it into a show that's like really good. Maybe someday a cool Gyaru will think my plane models are neat too. Blame fundamentalism. I mean, I would just blame Puritanism. One manga called Marriage Toxin, which is about a super-powered assassin getting dating advice from a marriage swindler because his grandma keeps pressuring him and his sister to continue the family line. Ooh. That sounds fun. Learn to use washes for panel lines. Looks nifty. Hell yeah. Yeah, Marriage Toxin sounds like, unfortunately, my kind of thing. It doesn't sound like too much of a stretch from my run-through of Spy Family. Dark. Dark, dark, dark. We're very close to the end of the UFO run. I'm having a hard time believing that. We're almost done with Silent Hill 2. Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, my kind of thing. Yeah, it's it's all weird vibes, you know? Get off of me. But then again, I'm the kind of person who really likes Murcielago, which I can't recommend. I love that series, but it's nasty. Don't look up anything I'm explaining. Okay, how are we doing? I think now we just go to... Yeah, we have done so well that we are already at the employee section. If it's not him, then his sister's going to have to break up with her girlfriend. And he's all, okay, A, like hell you're breaking up with your GF, and B, I've actually been talking with a friend and having a healthy family life sounds actually kind of nice. Murcielago, which has actually been published in the States. If you look it up, you're going to get a car, but if you type Murcielago manga and you just do an image search, you'll understand why I like it. It's nasty. It's about a lesbian contract killer who is just a piece of goblin trash. She's terrible. She sucks. I would defend her with my life. It's that kind of thing. It's not... It's incredible. It is exactly what that concept needs to be. It is perfectly executed for what it is. And it cannot be recommended to anyone under any circumstance. Again, I'm telling you this so you know not to look it up. Okay? I cannot stress this enough. But if you love trash and you love edgelord stuff the way I sometimes often do, it's good stuff. Too late, Mari and Trash. Welcome. It is good to have you here with me. In the garbage. Where we live. Forever. Okay, now, I always forget where this particular door is. I think, yeah, it's right here. We need to go into the red door. Oh, yeah, she would absolutely be into that. Because that's exactly what it is. And she does horrible things. She does bad things. And I think that's kind of part of the appeal when you're the kind of person who's just like, it's not that I have a problem with problematic content, it's that problematic content has to be so over the top that I can turn my brain off and just enjoy it. And it kind of is over the top, and it's just like this, I don't know. I can't talk about it too much more because some of the stuff is like, I can never recommend it to people under any circumstance, and okay. So now we're going into the employee cafeteria, I believe. Did I do that wrong? I think I did. No, I didn't. No, this is not where I'm supposed to go. I think, let's see. Got the can opener, and now we're going into here. Yes. Not the worst thing I've read. Yeah, it's like, it's not, if it sounds like I'm saying it's the worst thing, it's not. It's just horrible. In a good way. If you hear, oh yeah, every character in this sucks, and you go, oh, that sounds great, then it's your kind of thing. Okay, so we have a boiler room. I still need to read Chainsaw Man. I've only read a few chapters, but what I've read is really good. It's one of those things that, like, when you read it, you're going to be like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. It's probably better than what I thought it was going to be, but it still isn't what I thought it was going to be. It's like a very fart humor kind of manga that is still, like, exceptionally well crafted. Fart jokes and deep and meaningful emotional moments. Well, Goku. Oh, I think I've heard of Goku Rock Guy. I think I have a tab on some device somewhere. Primrose Year 1. Oh, you just said some mad. You just reached into my past a little too deeply. Judge has proven himself to be a real fan. God, just bringing up Primrose on me. Anyway, I feel like I have to explain that one. So, I have a character, an OC, who was the villain in a comic I started writing about 7 years ago, and couldn't finish because, as with a lot of my comic projects, stuff happened, and I wasn't able to stick with it as much as I would have liked. But the villain was a character that I actually had a few different storylines developed for, including a sequel story that just focused on her because she was cool enough and I knew that people would like her. And she just... When somebody tells me, oh yeah, Primrose, Deva Primrose, I'm just kind of like, I need every excuse I can to draw her because she's so fun and terrible. Just an absolute monster of a human being. Who I think tries to take over a city so that she can turn it into a corporate town. Just a nasty capitalist. A nasty capitalist who doesn't care about anyone's feelings because there's a possibility that she can't care about anyone's feelings, and she was raised by kind of a crappy mom. So she had no chance. And then learning how to get over herself and realize that actually she's the one who's been fucking up. But that part of the story is way further down the line because they do not learn things quickly. They never do. They never do. Okay. So we're up to room 312. Hey, guess what? We're at the ending. No joke. So we're going to... I don't know if we have to do this before or after. No. I think. Okay. Is everybody ready? We're doing this. We're making this happen. Use. Nastalist? Sorry, who are you? Have you seen a little girl around here? Short, black hair? What are you talking about? Anyway, listen. Have you seen my wife? Her name's Mary. Arg! Thumbs up. God, that was good. That was dumb as hell, and I love it. All music and sound effects by Akira Yamaoka. So 121 is not too bad for that ending. That is also... Hey, game goal time. Game goal. Let's do it. Let's add it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Game goal spotlight. Boom. We did it. Oh, wait. One more thing. Game goal spotlight. Boop. All endings! Exclamation point. Gosh. I can't... That is 7 endings. Holy cow. We did it! We actually did it. We got through all 4 of the base game endings and all of the content for the director's cut. And I had never done that on a single file before. It was the same with Silent Hill 1. This is a first for me. And... God! I got so many stars. I wonder... So... I wonder... Okay, so if that is what I think it is... I think that's just 5.5 stars. Like, it's got a weird way of handling its star system, so it's not as many stars as it could be. But still really good. An hour and 3 minutes. No, wait, that was the Labyrinth Hallway. That doesn't count. The actual count was an hour and 21. But holy cow. Hot diggity damn. Sorry, I'm a little I'm a little emotional because I have been wanting to do this for a really long time. I've been looking for an excuse to sit down with this game and plumb through its depths as deeply as I could. At the very least, get a completed save file. I have been wanting to do this since buying the game for PS2 back near its release. Ugh. Oh, I'm very happy. Sorry, I'm like genuinely ecstatic about this. And it would not have been possible without this stream. So thank you all. Um, oh, I know I should just like sign off and do my usual thing, but I'm just kind of luxuriating in the afterglow. Um, so this was Silent Hill 2. Now, if you would like to play Silent Hill 2, there is a GOG version for PC that recently got a completed mod that overhauls it and brushes it up and makes it a true Silent Hill HD, or Silent Hill 2 HD. I would strongly recommend it. This game is surprisingly playable even today, and that might actually end up being one of the best ways to play the original Silent Hill 2. Um, of course, we've got the remake coming out, which I would love to try out at some point, but maybe not on stream until we can kind of get a good vibe check on that one. Uh, okay, so we are at 35 sub points. We only need 5 more. And we will be working on Silent Hill 3 next, so we've got plenty of time. Um, we've also got Gex tomorrow, probably around 7 o'clock, about an hour later than usual start time, and a surprise game on Thursday, which I'm going to have to practice because I want to make sure that like I can pull it off, you know? Um, so what else? I think that's everything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and call it here. Thank you all for coming. I've been Robin at Anajack without a C and will continue to be so for the foreseeable future. There are VODs available for 60 days after initial airing, completely free, no sub required. There are follower and subscriber exclusive emotes, almost all of them designed by me. Angelus and the Hi Debbie emote, not designed by me, the latter designed by Lark. And if you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, which means a free sub to gift every month. Use it. It's free money. And the streamer gets that money. It's pretty cool. Anyway, that's it. Thank you all for coming. Get hydrated, get vaccinated, get masked up, be good, be safe, be awesome, and be gone. Bye,
James,
everybody. And thank
did
you
something
very much for
happen
this
to you?
accomplishment.
After we got separated
Woo!
in that long hallway?